everybody doing? Maybe the lighting looks a little dark. Maybe it'll clear up. There we go. That's good. There we go. Let's see who drops in. This is super impromptu, like super out of nowhere. I just figured I would. It's been a while since I've talked to everybody and have made any videos. And I was thinking about making a video tonight, just like a quick one, but I figured why not just, jump in and say hello to everybody and see how it's going. So here it is. Surprise. Let's see who shows up. Usually I schedule these ahead of time, so people are, sort of ready for it. They can hang around and they can kind of come see it when I plan it. But in this case, I didn't warn anyone, so who knows? It may not go off, and if it doesn't, then I'll stop it. Let's see. Nobody's here yet. This is the longest that it's ever gone without someone stepping in. This may not work. Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody. Wait a minute. I think I know. I think I had my interface was turned down. Let's see if this is better. I wonder if you all in internet land can hear me better now. Somebody's here. Let's see if I can see who it is. I don't know. Looking in the live chat. Hello, what's going on? MG, what's up? Who? MG, is this? Are you Mary Grace? Is this Mary Grace by chance? Who's MG? Awesome. What's up? Yeah, this is like a surprise impromptu live stream. So I just thought I got back from vacation, so I thought I'd do it. How did your voice lesson go the other day? I know you had a sub, so hope everything went okay. Three people here. Yay, what's up? People are showing up. I'm not here all by myself. Awesome. Welcome, whoever's here. I don't know if there's a way to see who all's here. I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, they didn't get a sub for you. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes they can't find a substitute teacher. That worked out okay too. In some ways, I'm a little glad because you never know who you're going to get, and sometimes when you have substitute teachers, they don't teach things. Like if I ever end up having to sub for another teacher at the studio, I make sure that I have a very good understanding of where the student is at before, I just jump in and try to change things. Like I've had times where people have substitute taught for me and my other students at the studio, and I come back and they say like, oh. Well, this other teacher told me to do something this way, which is totally contrary to the way that I taught it. So. Yeah, I don't like that. Turn on the air conditioner in here. It's warm. Weather's going crazy here in Georgia. Everything's going nuts. It was like 30 degrees like a few days ago, and it was like 80 yesterday or something. Like it's crazy. The weather's going nuts. Let's see if we pick up some traction here. We got 3 people. We need more than 3. We need like 100 people. Yeah, Georgia. Make up your mind, Georgia. Yeah. That's how it is. Yeah, February's and Marches in Georgia are always crazy. I remember a few years ago we had snow in March. Like, I don't know how these things happen. It's been a while since I've seen everybody. That's why I figured I'd do this like live stream. Is it's been, gosh, I don't know. It's been about a week and a half since I did anything. I mean, I haven't really been able to do much. So with YouTube at least, because I've been out of town and I took a week off. It was nice. Had my birthday last Tuesday. That was nice. I was at my friend's house. We watched the Super Bowl, that kind of thing. Man, got 4 people here, 5 minutes. I need to have some talks about vocals. You guys are gonna make me go off and like perform something. Last time I haven't done much singing over the past week or so myself because I've been so busy. But before I left on my trip, I was actually working on the Credo from Verdi's Otello. That's fun. It's really hard, and it's nowhere near performance shape. But that's my most recent thing I've decided to undertake. It's a piece that I've always wanted to do anyway, and it just I don't. I mean, part of his age. I didn't really have the chops, I didn't have the vocal strength or stamina to be able to perform it, and I may not still. I don't know. I'm going to find out when I try to get through it. I mean, it's a very very difficult piece of music. It's widely known as one of the more difficult baritone solos. So we'll see how it goes. Man, it's so dead. Where's everybody at? Usually I have like a mass of people, like 25 or 30 people in here. It's dead. Speak to me. Talk to me in the chat. I don't have any like chat restrictions on, so you all can like talk to me all you want. I know that some of these like voice teachers they'll like fill their live streams with them singing, and I mean, I could sing something. I guess I could sing like some Italian aria. I mean, if everybody wanted to do that, I could sing something, but. Hey SkyQuest, how's it going? Good to see you too. It's been a while. I know it's been a few weeks. I needed to recharge. I've got some new ideas. I've been actually kind of floating a few different ideas about the channel and how to do a few things. And if we got enough people in here, I was planning on running some of that stuff by everybody and getting some feedback from some people who I know actually care about the content. I've had a hey, how's it going, Jay? Good to see you. I've had a few, I guess, realizations about things, and having the time off has kind of let me step back a bit, and not checking my creator studio all the time and seeing all the comments and things. It's given me some perspective and some time to think. And let me move my mic closer, just because it says it's not picking up that well. Yeah, it was a good vacation. I mean, it was a birthday celebration. My girlfriend got me a board game called Betrayal at House on the Hill. We played that a couple of times. It was fun. I've gotten like a gift card from my boss. My grandmother gave me some money. I don't know what my mom got me yet. I don't know. We'll find out. But that was, just stuff like that. And then I visited my friend in Charleston, South Carolina, and he basically paid for my trip, that kind of thing. And so that was a lot of fun. Well, speaking of my girlfriend, she might be about to come in there now. Hang on one sec. She may be coming to join us momentarily. Hey, Jared. So Jared is my brother, in case any of you are wondering who Jared Vermiglia is. He is my brother. How's it going, man? Feel free to chat with us. If you got stuff to do, I got you, but feel free to stop by and chat. Yeah, it was a good vacation. I went to the Charleston Aquarium, and that was fun. Ate at some good restaurants. When am I vacationing? Hey, I just got back from a vacation. I'm kind of broke. No, we got to do something together soon. What I think of D-Mash? So I'm gonna do a video on D-Mash. I'm not gonna say when, and I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna talk about. But I'm not gonna talk about D-Mash right now. I will address D-Mash in the future. I promise. I got a game plan. Anarchy. Yeah, I think I am going to do Anarchy this week. I'm trying to make a couple of last minute decisions. I wanted to, if we get enough people in here, I kind of wanted to run some ideas about how I should manage this channel from the perspective. Like sometimes it's easy to, get stuck in um in your own head a little bit about things, and having the time away sort of gave me the ability to refresh and kind of recharge and look at things from a different perspective again. Oops, man, my hate when my head itches with these headphones on, because then like my hair gets all screwed up. There we go. um it gives me some time to recharge and rethink things. And um so now, I kind of want to get some opinion from people who actually are like seeing my content from the outside. And I definitely want to get some perspective on what you all think. What do I think about the Devin Townsend Chad Kroger collaboration? I don't know yet. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to withhold judgment until I hear it. I will withhold judgment until I hear it. When I hear it, I will have an opinion. I trust Devin. I think he's a genius. So I can't help but think that Devin has a good reason behind what he's doing. So we'll see. And when the track drops, and I'll let you know exactly how I feel then. Hey, Rainey, it's my girlfriend, Rainey. Everyone who doesn't already know, that's her. Um, yeah. So she says, long time no see. I literally dropped her off back at her house from our vacation yesterday. So yeah. So hey, Tarek, what's going on? Thanks for dropping by. Um, I kind of want to run a few things by all of you. The One thing that I've kind of really thought about a lot over the past week since I've taken this break is YouTube is it's an entertainment platform. It's not an education platform. And I think that since my primary focus on my channel has been education and not entertainment, my channel hasn't grown at the rate that I've hoped that it would, or maybe not hoped that it would, but um, it hasn't grown as fast as, like, I guess what you would call my competition. So because of that, I've been kind of getting down on myself, and getting down on my own content. I know my content's fine, but I guess the amount of work that I put into creating it. So I've been kind of trying to I've been trying to think about different ways that I can approach this. I do have a job teaching at a music studio, and I have private students. Right now, I only get 1 day off a week. My only day off is Sundays. Like, I literally just got home from my job in Atlanta before I jumped on here. And what I've been thinking is that it might not be a bad idea for me to dial my content back. Now, I'm not 100% certain on this yet. I don't know if I'm going to do it yet for sure. It's just something that I'm kind of letting I'm just letting it stew around in my head a bit. And it's hard because I want to keep delivering the content. I feel like I have so much more I have to say and so much more I want to do, but I'm putting a lot of work into this, and the channel isn't growing as quickly as I feel like it should, given the fact that I've already put out over 50 videos, and I put a lot of effort into it. And I know that there are barriers that keep people from wanting to watch. Like, the length of the videos is one thing. I don't just lavish every singer with praises. I know that that's another thing that keeps people from wanting to watch it. I am right, yeah, I do. I don't want to do reaction videos though, because reaction videos don't allow me to give the same quality of insight as an actual analysis video does. Me doing a reaction video, it's like very cheap, and it's just deliberately designed to appeal to the masses. And I mean, of course, I would like the masses of people to hear my content, but I don't want to wait. Alaskan Peepo. Who are you? Who are you, Alaskan Peepo? Are you is this Jacob? Are you Jacob? I'm already back from vacation, man. I told you that vacation wasn't going to affect me taking this. Jacob is one of my guitar students at the place that I work. And I was off 2 days this week because of the vacation I went on, but I was off on Wednesday and Thursday. I wasn't off today. I was at work today. My vacation's over. But yeah, and I'm glad that you guys are learning from my analyses. I'm glad that you're learning from my videos, and I'm glad that I'm able to provide that to you and educate you. It's a lot of work though, and I don't think that putting out more content is going to make my channel grow any faster. My channel tends to operate in bursts, and it's hard to predict. Like I did the Taria video, and it went about normal as all my other videos do, and then I did a floor video, and it exploded, and I had no way. I didn't know. Like they're singers from the same band. Like I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't know that doing the video on Floor Jansen, gotta get it right. Jansen, I don't know. I still can't say it right. I didn't know that a video on her would explode like it did. So it's hard to predict. And by the way, that rant video, I had to appeal it, and they did remonetize it. I put that in the description or in the comments or something, or I edited my comment, but they did remonetize it after I appealed. So that worked out. Yeah, so that was good. I'm glad that they remonetized it, because it was I didn't do anything wrong. Like, and it was completely original content. Like I didn't take from anybody, and I just gave some perspective. Like I didn't, so they remonetized it, which is good. I don't know how it got flagged to be demonetized in the first place. I'm not sure about that. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm looking for some suggestions. I've thought about having a default disclaimer for the first 2 minutes of my video, and then shortening my analyses down to maybe a 20-minute long video instead of 30 minutes. The problem is that I'm already having to cut so much of the songs that people are saying, "Oh, well, you don't let the singer sing, you just talk." So it's hard because I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I can't let the singer sing much, or I get copyright strikes. And if I get one more copyright claim and I try to appeal and it goes under, it fails, they're going to give me a strike on my account, which means that I can't be monetized anymore, permanently demonetized. And there's a ban of me using copyrighted content at all. Well, yeah. And so the thing about the disclaimer, though, is I've been talking to some other people that are high profile YouTubers or higher profile than I am. And they're all saying that disclaimers actually hurt your views, because nobody wants to sit through a disclaimer. They just want you to jump into the content. So, apparently the data shows that if you put disclaimers at the beginning of all your videos perform worse than if you just jump straight in. And so it's like a negative thing for people to say, even to start out a video by saying, "Hey, I'm going to start this with a disclaimer." Yeah. And I would timestamp it either way, but, yeah, I've looked at BitChute a good bit. I've also thought about Steemit as well. Because I know, I'm a cryptocurrency enthusiast as well. And, I know Steemit operates under its own cryptocurrency. And so that's kind of cool. And I know that BitChute doesn't, they don't, I know that they don't really suppress people quite as much. Daily Motion, I know that I've seen it on a couple of different things. But, I don't know. Maybe it might be worth it. I've definitely considered BitChute already. Yeah, so I'm going to do. Thank you for for the support, Jay. I want my channel to grow as well, because I would like to be in a situation to where I don't have to work at my studio that I work at anymore, and I can just teach online and make content for you all. That's what I would love. That I love making this content. I'm just in a situation now to where the time investment and the effort investment is starting to become more than what it's worth. And I didn't get into this with the intention of making money. The channel happened on accident. So, Let's see. I'd also be interested to know if you entertain writing your analyses out and then linking the YouTube of the performance with it. So, I mean, honestly, my analyses, they're not impromptu like reaction videos because I do watch through and I give myself little like timestamps of like what I want to refer to, but I don't script anything that I do because I don't want um scripting, in my opinion, for me, not for everybody, but for me, scripting is going to stifle the effectiveness of my delivery of my content. I've scripted little tiny bits of my videos at times in the past and not told anybody about it. And this is like way back, long time ago. And I went back and watched, and I was like, like, you know, this isn't the same as if I just talk about what I know and I kind of, you know, give pointers or give like little moments that I want to address. So, I guess that's possible, but I definitely, transcribing it after the fact. I gotcha. Well, I think that there's a thing on built into YouTube that transcribes it for you based on what it hears. You know, that's an okay idea. It's not a terrible idea. How much use would it get? Like you can't manage what you can't measure, and so like I don't want to go through all that if I don't know that people are going to use it. And and another thing is that like I know that most of the people who like my content don't need me to do all that stuff. They understand the circumstances. But I also know the people who already like the content are the ones that would go through and look at the transcript. How many people on the outside, the masses that haven't discovered my channel yet, how many of them are going to, you know, come out and say, well, I'm willing to look through this whole transcript just to better read things? It's not really like that. People want to be hooked. You know, they want something to grab them. And the idea of taking a transcript to another video, that's certainly not going to make them want to subscribe. You know, it's tough, and I'm in a very interesting niche. And the problem is that all of the other people, except for a couple of people that I found that are doing the kind of content that I do, take the singers that I react to could do no wrong approach. So I have to find a way to convince people to listen to my content under the assumption that I'm not calling their favorite singers bad just because they have, you know, issues with their technique. Well, I've been working on lighting. I've got this thing, and I'm not running it right now because I have to set it up behind my monitor and stuff and I'm on a desktop, so it's not that simple. My room is very strangely shaped. You can't really see it from this, but like my door is right here and a hallway to my bathroom is right here. And then the ceiling is angled like this. So when I try to do lighting, a lot of times when I've tried to use lighting, it ends up making something very, very washed out. Like some element of the video end up washed out and hard to see. Hi, Pony of the Village. I have no idea who you are, but hello. Yeah, I don't recognize your avatar. I have no idea who, but hello. I'm glad you dropped by. But yeah, so my awesome. Well, thank you for subscribing and welcome. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if I've tried lighting, like I've got soundproofing it like up here and I've got soundproofing over here, but my wall is a good distance. You can kind of see the corner of the wall like right there, and it kind of goes this way. And so my room is very strangely shaped. So I'm trying to say, so when I try to use lighting, it doesn't typically work out the way that I want. I've had a couple of videos where the lighting has worked out, but it like I've got a light, like a not a chandelier, but a light with a fan like right above my head. So if my lighting in front of me is weird, I've had like times where I've had to remake videos. Like I think it was my Taria video where the lighting was really messed up after I recorded it because it's a complicated setup. It has a lot to do with like I don't have a lot of space. My second monitor is right here, right beside me, and I kind of have all of my like recording equipment filtering through this monitor while I make videos. And so my setup just isn't as conducive as I'd like for it to be to make the lighting better. I've done a lot of work to make the audio better, and I still have clipping issues. Like I've got this Rode NT1A, and it does a great job, but it's with the size of the room. When I try to sing and things like that, like it clips really badly. And I've gotten a lot better at it. I've used the interface to my advantage. I've been using like production software, stuff like that. Well, good. I'm glad the audio is good now. It was a major problem. If you go back to like my Devin Townsend video, like go back to my older stuff, it's a massive problem. And I finally figured out something that worked. The lighting, one of the reasons, well, there's a couple of reasons I have my face really small in the corner. One is I realized that my video quality isn't that great. My webcam isn't terrible. It's okay. I bought a new one and it's all right. So, the vocal research people I'm in touch with are having approximately similar issues with their content and copyright flagging as yourself. So I get it. You got recommended based off of them, and I'm glad. Well, thank you. Let's see. You could build a small studio PVC piper. I know nothing about that kind of stuff. Yeah, I know nothing about building things. I mean, I've already had to teach myself a lot just to, make videos. So I do know some people that are pretty good at studio stuff that might be willing to help. I want to improve the quality of my content, like in any way that I can. And I know that if I want to grow a lot more, I'm going to have to. So, I've got some resources that I'm trying to tap into, and I know those are technical things that are possibly limiting the growth of my channel. What I want to do is find a way to make not just what's going on around me in my setting, my room. I want to find a way to make the content more accessible to a mass audience while still retaining the integrity of what I'm talking about. Because I could easily go the route of, your well, I'm not going to say the names, but do I have a secondary room? Not really. The room right across this wall is used by somebody else. And the bottom floor is the living room and the kitchen. But yeah, but basically, I forgot where I was going with this. Like, I just need to find a way to make it to where I can not sacrifice the integrity of what I'm doing, and make the content a little more accessible. Collaboration. Phil from Wings of Pegasus goes in depth analysis of guitarist. He's very knowledgeable, like you are in vocals. I could picture you both analyzing a band. Sure, and I mean, I'm really good friends with Martin Miller, who is a guitarist on YouTube. I give him voice lessons. And the thing is, here's the thing. It's hard to explain. I'm a small YouTuber. Like, I'm about to hit 2,000 subscribers, which is freaking amazing. And a year ago, I would have never thought I'd have a YouTube channel with 2,000 subscribers. I mean, it's amazing, and I'm honored, and it's a privilege. But in the grand scheme of YouTube, I'm this big. I'm very tiny. So green screening, I've been told, is considered very tacky to like advertisers and sponsors and things like that. Like, if you green screen your content, they're less likely to look at you. So if I want to grow my channel in a way that's going to be like network, and companies are going to network my content or whatever, however it could end up being, you don't want a green screen. I've already thought about that. But yeah, so like the thing is, I'm a very small channel. So if if I go to somebody like Martin Miller, or if I go to somebody like Wings of Pegasus, whoever you're talking about, that has a big following, I have nothing to offer them. Like, they only stand to benefit me because they're so much more popular than I am. So like, if I had 100,000 subscribers and they have 100,000 subscribers, there's a mutual benefit there, because I have a fan base and he has a fan base, and they don't consist of the same people. And so you can end up sharing a fan base and mutually benefiting one another. If a popular YouTuber comes to me and is like, hey, do content with me on my channel, that does him no good. And it does nothing but does me good, because I'd probably gain, 5,000 subscribers just from that. So it's harder than it sounds just to go out and ask people like, oh,
can I be on your channel? Oh, no. It is a thought. Yeah. And trust me, if I could do that, I already would have, but it's so difficult. I mean, it's really tough. The best way for that to happen is for the audiences to point out that to other YouTubers. That's how Tristan Freitas found me. By the way, Tristan Freitas actually reached out to me, and I've had quite a few conversations with him, and I've learned a lot about his whole method, and I have a much better understanding of, like kind of where he comes from, what he's all about. And so he found me because someone else was like, hey, check out this guy's YouTube channel. He's a voice coach and he's been critical of you. And so that got me some attention from Tristan, and I've talked with him a great deal. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to go to Tristan and be like, yo, what's up? Hey, come on to my YouTube channel. Like, I wouldn't do that. He's got 1.5 million subscribers. It would do him no good. So, what happens is if the fans or the viewers go to these people and say, hey, check this guy out, I want you to have a conversation with him, that goes a lot further. So if you guys feel compelled to do that with your favorite YouTubers, please do. There's only so much that I can do as far as networking without just coming across as a beggar, and I don't want to do that. YouTube is somewhat reactionary, and what I mean by that is that we all are trying to do things that make our audiences continue to enjoy our content alongside drawing in new people. So the best way to pull someone's attention that does a channel is to, inform them of something else. Like a lot of the singers that I've analyzed, I'd never even listened to before, but I had so many requests from people in the comments saying like, hey, check this guy out, check this person out, check this girl out, whatever, that I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I found, like, for example, Messiah Marcolin. I'd never even heard of him. And then I listened to it and I was like, okay, this dude has some legitimate technique. There's a lot of teachable stuff I can use by analyzing one of his videos. And so I did a video on it. Stuff like that. So maybe that gives you some perspective, and that gives you a better idea of if you want my channel to grow, then that'll do it. Would you consider doing a reaction with Vin Sorry to Nightwish? Yeah. I mean, I don't do, like, I don't do reactions. Like, I don't really do reactions. So I mean, if you, I would happily analyze something with them, but I don't react to things. So I wouldn't even know what to do in a reaction video. Like, that's just not my thing. I could give like some immediate vocal feedback and be like, yeah, that's, like, well, this is what comes to my mind when I hear this, like, but I'm not going to do the like, like, I'm not going to do that thing. Like, that's just not, and I'm also not going to get all up in arms if I hear something that I like. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, that was so amazing. Like, I'm not going to do, that's just not me. So, I guess. Hey, you know what? If you have absolutely, if you have a connection like that, I'll do it. I mean, sure, without a doubt. How many of our favorite singers have lost their voices over the years? I'm a vocal health expert. My job is protect voices. Healthy technique and singing quality are not mutually exclusive. That's an intro. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. And well, so I have to be careful with that too, because while I do specialize in teaching voice, that's what I do. I'm not a doctor. So when I talk about things, when I say things like I'm an expert in vocal health, well, that implies that I'm a doctor, and I'm not. So I have to be very careful with the way that I word things. I can't present myself as like giving medical advice. SkyQuest, I have an intro video. I actually have one. I made one, but no one watches it. I've got it set to be the thing that like non-subscribers see when they click on my channel. It's the first thing they see, but nobody watches it. It's like 12 minutes of me breaking down my entire philosophy and everything that I do, but nobody watches. So I don't know. See, I could put you in with Timmy Sam potentially. He's honest and committed to candid representations of vocals. Yeah, I've never heard of him. I've never heard of him, but I mean, I'll give him. I'll take a look. Let's see. I will say this: I've learned quite a bit over the past month or two. There are some people on YouTube that really know what they're doing and really know what they're talking about, but some of them choose to do reaction videos just because they don't want to have the same problems that I have. That I have. They know that if they try to analyze things, people are going to respond and hate them and be like, "Oh, you're just hating on my favorite singer. Or you're a hater," because let's face it, most people get on YouTube to be entertained. They don't get on YouTube to learn. So, having to think about YouTube from that perspective it's tough because that's not what I want. Like, I don't want to be an entertainer. I want to be a teacher. And so it's very difficult. And I've got to find a way to balance them. People are never happy with X singer. Well, I don't say that X singer is not as good as Y singer. I like to go back to the Nightwish scenario for, as an example. I said that I think that Tarja fits and like she said, has better physical singing technique, but I think that Floor fits the genre, it fits the music better. So, I was deliberately hedging my bets, but I mean, it's the truth. Like, that's how I really feel. I feel like Tarja's voice would carry over into an opera setting or a classical setting much more easily, where technique is super important. Whereas Floor, in a metal setting, technique isn't as important, as demonstrated by the numerous singers that I've analyzed. Floor fits better in that setting where technique isn't as important, but she's a great singer. So, it's not a better or worse thing. It's just different. You can't, singing is such a weird thing because you can't think of singing as good or bad. Like, if you can sing on key, you can carry a tune, you can be on pitch, you're a good singer. You don't become a bad singer until you're always flat, or you can't maintain something. Like, you can't sing a melody. Like, that's when you become a bad singer. After that point, it's just a matter of how do you make the sounds that you create. And that's where I come in. Like, I prefer for singers to do healthy things. So when I talk about technique, I talk about, what's healthy. And when I talk about technique, I'm thinking about what would apply in a classical setting, because, classical singing is where technique, like, you have to have singing technique, because if you don't, you won't be able to sing the music. You just won't. You can't. So, it's complicated. And these are things that I think about all the time when I make content, and it's tough. And that's why I wanted to come and get some perspective from all of you. Let's see. We need to share your videos on other platforms like Twitter. I am on Instagram. It's at Zach Ansley Vocals. Well, it did a weird thing there, but I actually closed my Discord server. It's still there, but I've closed it to the public because there was something that happened that really got me a little bit concerned. It was brought to my attention that someone could have been in my channel that was scraping for data, like data mining, and it made me think, like, I don't like the idea of just opening up my channel for anybody and everybody that could data mine somebody. I don't like that. And so but you can, I mean, I've got my level 1 on Patreon gives you access to the channel. So, I mean, if someone came to me and were like, if somebody came to me and was like, hey, please let me join your Discord, it's fine. But if you sign up for my Patreon, the $1 level, it automatically puts you in. And before somebody thinks that that's like a money scheme, it's not, because $1 on Patreon gets eaten up by fees and taxes and stuff anyway. So it's like, I mean, just $1 on Patreon doesn't really benefit me at all. I really just have that there so that I can verify that people that want to join the Discord aren't just there to, they're willing to take an extra step to get into the server. So if someone came to me and really wanted to join the Discord, I'd let you in. Hansi Kurz. I don't know how to Kurz. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to say that. I've heard the name. I've seen the name, but I'm not sure how to say it. Yeah, please follow me on Instagram. I mean, I don't really post much on Instagram. I did my first little story thing ever the other day, so I don't post much on Instagram. I might start doing it more, but I'm actually like I'm not a big social media person. Like this YouTube channel came out of nowhere, so I typically don't do a lot on social media in general. So but I mean, if I need to get my channel growing, Hansi Kirch. Okay. Kirsch. Got it. Yeah. I said Rise's waifu. Somebody asked me on my story what my favorite Persona game was, and I said Persona 4. Let's see. I'm down to help you as much as I can to get. Yeah, I mean, any help I can get is awesome. I mean, I honestly feel like, I feel like if people would give my content a fair shot and actually turn off their biases for a minute or two, they'd learn something. But that's the thing. Not everybody that gets on YouTube is there to learn. And that's the key, is that like I have to understand that a lot of the negativity I get is from people who aren't on there to learn. They want to be entertained, and that's where the voice coach react videos come in. They entertain more than they teach. From System Shock 2 Shodan. I was actually talking to my girlfriend about that yesterday. We were watching this video like from Gaming Sins, everything wrong with BioShock. And yeah, and so my girlfriend hasn't played System Shock 2, but she's played BioShock. And I told her that was like the reason I knew the big spoiler in BioShock early was because I played System Shock 2, and System Shock 2 is kind of like the spiritual successor to BioShock. Hey, Nightwish. You're welcome. I'm glad to give you insight. I'm glad that you're learning something. Hey, Virtuoso, what's going on? Yeah, I did a surprise live stream. I got back from vacation, birthday vacation, and I just, thought I would drop in and say hello to everyone. Hey, Gabriel. By the way, did you guys check out did you watch the Matt Barlow interview? What all did you think? What did you think about the interview? I had a blast doing the interview, and we're going to do some more stuff in the future. What all do you think about that? Because honestly, I want to do more interviews. Like if I can get more singers on here to do interviews, I would love that, because it's cool. Like I like hearing their perspectives as well. It helps me learn. It's fun. Like Einar and Ross from Haken and Leprous. Well, Einar from Leprous and Ross from Haken, they both kind of just disappeared. I don't really know what happened. I want to interview them, but yeah, if you guys have any singers that you want me to interview or talk to, like let them know about my channel and link them to some of my interviews, because I think that what happens is a lot of the singers get afraid that a voice coach is going to be like, gotcha, and throw something at them they don't know, because not every singer that performs is trained. So I think that if they saw, the way that the interviews go, if a professional singer saw my interviews with Matt Barlow, they'd say, oh, well, this isn't a gotcha thing at all. Zach's just helping everybody understand what it's like to be a singer. So yeah, I mean, please feel free to, tell your favorite singers to do, to reach out to me for an interview. I'll interview anybody. And Vin and Story, same thing. If they'll do something in collaboration with me, I'll absolutely do it. The only thing I won't do is I won't make a video like where, like if the purpose of a collaboration is just so they can bash my perspective, I won't do that. Because I get all the time that like, oh, you come from a classical background, man, blah, 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 blah. Like I get that all the time. And it's a tired argument, and it's just not something I'm interested in doing. I've had that debate too many times, and too much it turns into ultimately the people that come from the non-classical background making the argument, they approach it like they don't understand where I'm coming from. Like I try to make it clear to them, like I'm not telling you that people that don't have classical training are bad, you know. So, you know, it's hard. So I don't want to do it. I don't want to do another like debate with a advocate for non-classical singing. Like last time that happened, it was on Reddit, and I ended up having a discussion with another voice teacher on YouTube who literally said, he said, I encourage my students to blow their voices out so that so that they can know their own limits or whatever, and I just don't want to get into a discussion with that kind of thing. Let's see. Yeah, I'm glad you guys liked the interview. It was fun. Jeff Tate interview, man, that would be something. I wonder how that would come across if I interviewed Jeff Tate. I don't know. That'd be interesting. I'd be more than willing to interview him. I mean, I have no problem interviewing people. If you can get Jeff Tate on here, I'd interview him in a heartbeat. Tobias Forge, I don't know who he is. Graham Bonnet, do not know who that is either. Yeah, I saw the Music Snob, the John Petrucci interview. I saw that. I think somebody has already tweeted James a few times about interviewing on my channel. The thing about James is that he's so polarizing. James Labrie is so polarizing that I don't know if he'd want to subject himself to the kinds of questions that I would ask him, even if it was not designed to hurt him or antagonize him or anything. Like I get the feeling that he probably hears enough about his injury and he sees enough commentary on YouTube and on Facebook and stuff. He probably wouldn't want to do something. I mean, if James Labrie would do an interview on my channel, I would interview him in a heartbeat because I would love to ask the kind of questions that would give him the opportunity to give some specifications to the fan base about what happened. I know exactly what questions I would ask him. I don't necessarily think that he would be willing to do it. Do you think it's possible to learn classical singing by diving in? Sure. Yeah. Hold on a minute. Let me get some water. I'm really thirsty. One sec. Yeah, that's exactly how I learned to do classical singing. I was 15 and I did Se Florinda e Fedele, and I had no idea what I was doing. And my teacher in high school kind of just gave me some pointers as we went, and that was what happened. I mean, you have to dive in. I mean, you can't really prep yourself to sing classical. You just have to start with something basic and simple, and then have someone who knows how it works and how it should be sung and have them guide you, and you eventually develop more and more technique and skill towards singing in that style. Do you think you could analyze Don Henley from the Eagles? I haven't thought about Don Henley, but that's definitely someone I could do a critique of for sure. Absolutely. My list of singers is just so long at this point that, like, I've got 2 years worth of content that I could do just off of the list of singers I've been given. So I don't have a lack of content. It's a lack of channel growth in comparison to the amount of content that I put out. That's the problem. Like, that's my whole issue. For the amount of work I'm putting in, I want my channel to grow a little bit more. So, I mean, I did the math and I put in several hundred hours of work just on my YouTube channel, considering, that I also, I have a job and I teach privately and all that kind of stuff too. I mean, it's a lot of work. and I only get one day off as it is. So, I realized that the YouTube stuff was starting to wear on me a little bit, not because I didn't like it, but just because like all the negative comments, all that kind of thing. Um, that's something that I'm really having trouble with. Like those negative comments really do get to me sometimes, and it's not because I believe them, um, but it's because so many of them like are so cutting. That they attack and target things that are that you know it's hard to explain. Like if you look through my creator studio and saw all the negative comments, you see what I mean. That they attack, you know, um, they attack me in ways that are I would say creative, but maybe that's not the right word for it. They attack in ways that are um they find specific things that they don't like that I don't even consider, and they attack me for them. And so it's kind of like, wow, like, gosh, like I hadn't even like that's not even my my purpose here. So it's not like I, Tristan actually so well yeah, you're right, Swamper. You have to grow tough skin. And Tristan Freitas and I talked for a long time, and one of the things that he pointed out to me that well that really stuck with me is that when you think about the development of people, and no matter what you believe about evolved, created, whatever your views on the world are, human beings' minds are not designed to have 1,000 people over here praising you and 1,000 people over here hating you. Like we're social creatures, but we're not social creatures to that grand of a scale, right? So um when I look at the comments to my floor video and I see like, it's like a war zone and people are like when I see people fighting one another, like adamantly calling each other names, calling me names, like, and it's all because I gave a perspective. It hurts. Like it's not necessarily what they're saying about me, but it's the idea that like, despite good intentions, I started an internet war, or at least I fueled an internet war. I didn't start it; it's been there forever. So it's hard, and I don't want that. I don't want to foster that. And it's but you can't control, you can't police it. I mean, it's the internet. So the only way I can police it would be by disabling comments. I definitely don't want to do that. Like no way. So um it's hard. It's hard to think about. It's hard to cope with, and it makes me wonder how like celebrities and things like that, um, you know, it makes me wonder how celebrities handle it. I love your video. Thank you for the information. Very fragile. You're welcome. I'm glad that you enjoy it, Christian. Please stick around, and I hope that I can keep educating you more. Hard time resisting the urge to respond to every negative comment. Yeah, for a while there, I was, and I still respond to some comments that are negative. If it's like just straight up like you're garbage, whatever, I ignore it. But if it's someone who has a fundamental misunderstanding of where I'm coming from, and that's where the negativity comes from, I try to explain, like, I try to take some time and be like, okay, this is where you're wrong. Like, for example, I don't know where my phone is. Like, oh yeah, the dab on your haters video or whatever. Like, where I should do that. Maybe that's what I should do tonight. Maybe I should go through and read all my mean comments in the video and put that up on YouTube. That would be fun. That would be fun. Um, that would be a lot of fun. But so some of them, the problem is, if I were already endorsed by Road or someone, like that would be one thing. But if you make a habit out of like trolling people and being a jerk, advertisers and things like that, they don't necessarily want to mess with you that much because they don't want to jump on a viewpoint they may not agree with. But I think that it's probably worth doing. I think you're probably right that I should just make a big compilation of negative comments and maybe make a video like with them posted. I could do that for sure. That would be fun. I want to find my phone. I don't know where it's at. I want to read a perfect example. Is it one of my bed sheets for some reason? I don't know. Where's my phone? Hold on a minute. Oh, it's right in front of my face. It's right here. Like, I want to give you an example. Yes, you can delete comments, but I don't want to be Ken Tamplin. Ken Tamplin, Ken Tamplin deletes comments. Like, he deleted my comment when I just all I said, literally all I said was like, he called The Sound of Silence by Disturbed opera. And all I said in the comment was like, I sing opera. I'm a bel canto singer and a professional voice teacher. This isn't opera. This isn't bel canto. And he blocked me and deleted the comment. So like, I don't want to delete comments. They're Christians have a very interesting way of dealing. Yeah, everybody has to deal with it. Every YouTuber has to deal with it, and we all find our own ways. And that's where I'm at right now. I think I'm trying to balance the mental stress from all the negative commentary, and I'm trying to balance that out. I'm working on it. I mean, I'm still a little YouTube baby. You know what I mean? I'm still figuring all this stuff out. I know anything about having a successful YouTube channel, but people still have the ability to buy a certain number of views from third party. Yes, you absolutely can buy views and subscribers. And I've never done that, and I never will. I've never bought subscribers. I've never bought likes. I've never bought views. None of that stuff. I've never done it. Yes, I've heard of Robert Lunty. I'm going to hold my tongue about Robert Lunty. I will say that caveat emptor. That's what I'll say, caveat emptor. I've watched quite a bit of his content. Let's see. So what I was going to give you is an example of a comment. It was a comment that was made that I responded to. And to summarize, and I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but it was in response to my Bjork video. It says, I'm going to summarize. It says vocal coaches are only for people who want to sing in a conventional, boring way. Bjork is a more valuable singer for her contributions than. Hold on a sec. Give me 1 sec. Sorry. Yeah, it says, Bjork's one song is a more valuable contribution to music than like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Celine Dion. She used her voice as an instrument rather than it's them rather than just being a vehicle for words. It's not calculated or trained hundreds of times in the same way. That's the real value of a singer. And people like you keep music from progressing because you can't separate music from technique. Stuff like that. Like, that's a comment. So I responded to that by basically saying that I'm not aiming to limit anybody. My purpose is to make people sing for longer. And I believe that if you have a baseline fundamental foundation of healthy sound technique, then you can do whatever you want, because you always know that if you feel like you're getting too far out into something is bad for you, you can go back to something that's okay. Like, the worst thing is when people, like in my opinion, the worst scenario is when an excellent singer, natural singer that's self-taught, doesn't know the things they do that are hurting them, that they could just fix. Like, you could sound just as good, but just take a lot of the times the unhealthy stuff doesn't even come across to the audience. Like, they don't know. Like, when I talk about glottal onsets, like, most people don't even know what that is that listen to music. So it doesn't aid the singing at all. It serves no functional purpose to the change of the sound. So, what's the downside of working on fixing your onsets? It just makes your voice last longer, stuff like that. I mean, the goal isn't to limit people singing, and if you ever want to use glottal onsets for something, at least how to turn it on, like, turn it off and, do it, not do it. That's kind of where I'm coming from with all this. So that's the kind of negative comments that I do respond to, that I that I try to respond to and have some understanding about. But there's some that, like, I ignore, like like, let's see. Like, someone who sings is not a musician, they're just a singer. Like, come on, I'm not going to pay attention to that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, someone accused me of making intros just to gain more view time. Like you're just trying to get views. You talk for the first 9 minutes into your comment section and then don't talk about the singer. Like I'm not going to respond to that stuff. It's just not worth. It's stupid. I'm not going to respond to that. It's not worth the time. But the thing about Mariah Carey, the irony of Mariah Carey is that that she damaged her voice from the singing the way that she did. Like, she had a massive vocal fall off because of her singing habits. I don't know. It's having a little bit of understanding about the voice goes such a long way when it comes to your own ability to sing. I think I've missed some stuff. Let me go back up. Low key, I want to send you a voice recording of me singing to get your opinion. Kidding. I mean, I'm down. I mean, send me a recording. Yeah. I mean, I'll email it to me. I'll check it out. I mean, I don't mind listening to singers. Yeah, that's the thing. People don't realize that so much of what I do in my videos works against the algorithm going in my favor. Like, I don't try to optimize my content to the algorithm. I try to optimize my content for the viewer. And people don't get it, And so I have to ignore that stuff because they just don't understand. If I wanted to optimize the algorithm, my videos would all start with vocal coach reacts to, or opera singer reacts to, or vocal teacher reacts. Yeah, I would start with something that's really high trending in the algorithm, but I don't. That's why I say live vocal analysis, because it's like, I use the big letters because that's what you're supposed to do in titles, but live vocal analysis, I'm analyzing live vocals. I don't, it's not clickbait. I just want people to know what I'm doing. Like, I'm Jeff Tate live vocal analysis. I'm not trying to, make myself voice coach reacts. Like, that's not what I do. It's just as simple. Like, if I could make that simple change and my videos would explode in growth, probably, relatively speaking, but I'm not going to do that because I want people to understand that my content is not impromptu. It's somewhat impromptu and when I talk, but as far as the ideas that I have, it's not just coming off the cuff. It's because I've sat down and thought about this stuff, So maybe that gives a better idea, but I understand. Whoring for views by offering your honest opinions and not pandering. Clearly, that's how it works. Well, yeah, I mean, obvious. Yeah. Preaching to the choir, Along with the vocal analysis, any other type of video you like to make? Yes, there are lots of videos I like to make, but I don't have time. I mean, I don't have time. I'm up until, I'm a late night person anyway, but Tuesday nights when I make my video, I'm up till like, I'm working on the video to like 3 a.m. most of the time, 3 a.m. EST. So, I just don't have time. I teach privately Saturdays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. I work at the studio Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. My only day off is Sundays, period. So, I don't have time. If my channel grew to the point to where I was making $500 a month in ad revenue, maybe I could, I could probably free up a day or two. But I just don't have time. But yeah, I've got lots of video. I want to make just some general perspective videos. Like, I want to have an interview series. I want to have analysis videos. I'd like to eventually have some stuff of me performing some things on here when I can actually get to a situation where I can record myself. As an opera singer yourself, what's your opinion on current opera singers versus the greats from the past? Ooh. Well, first off, I'm not I'm no Bryn Terfel. So, I'm good enough to sing some arias and I could, weasel my way through a piece if I needed to. So I'm not like my perspective, don't take it the same as someone like Thomas Hampson. Like, don't put me on the same plane when I say this kind of stuff. But I think that modern opera has is more catered to showmanship, and it's more about getting bang for the buck out of the singers as soon as you can. Rolando Villazon's a great example. He's a phenomenal singer, but he ran himself ragged really fast. Just because of the nature of the way he performed. So I think that the industry is a lot more apt to, what's the word? How do you explain this? What's the word for it? Cycle through singers more. Love to hear you do a cover of something epic like Vitas. Oh my god. I can't even begin to do what he does. Like, that crazy high head voice stuff. I mean, like, when I was younger, I could, do some, like James LaBrie F sharp stuff in head voice, but no, I can't sing the Vitas. There's no way. But yeah, attrition. Yeah, they kind of grind through singers. They kind of grind through singers these days, and like women in particular. So much of opera now is about the look. Like, they want opera singer women to look like it's very much about the glamour and the look of it. And so I don't think that I think the modern opera definitely prioritizes the show more than the music. Range making. Yeah, I'm not ranged in my school of music. I don't care about range. Like, as long as I'm doing what I need to in my Fach, I don't care about how high I can go. But modern, I mean, I don't watch that much opera. Not anymore. When I need to learn an aria or when I want to see something, I'll pull up a reading of something, but I don't watch opera too much anymore. Do I have a favorite song to sing? Probably "Oh Du mein holder Abendstern" from Tannhäuser. I mean, I love singing that piece. I also love singing "With Joy the Impatient Husbandman" from Haydn's Seasons. Quia fecit mihi magna by Bach. I like that one a lot. I like performing that a lot. As far as like modern stuff, Beyond the Pale by Pain of Salvation, I enjoy singing that. Hours of Wealth by Opeth, I enjoy singing that song. Oh, Herman Pry. Oh, Herman Pry is a beast. Oh, he's so good. Herman Pry was like, he was a monster. I also like Bastianini quite a bit for the for that kind of range. Domingo doing opera at 78, he's a little bit beyond what he should be. King of Loss is my favorite song of all time, non-classical. So there you go. Yeah, King of Loss is my favorite song of all time. Except, like, I split opera and not like classical and non-classical in my mind, but non-classical King of Loss is my favorite song ever. I don't have the range to sing that middle section in chest voice. So Repo, I saw Repo. I don't remember, a long time ago. It didn't stand out to me though. Favorite operatic tenor that isn't Pavarotti? Carreras, probably. Domingo. Yeah, Carreras probably. CCS. Oh man, I haven't been there in a while. Who is this? Who's Archangel? Who are you? I haven't been there in a while. Just I don't have time. Every time I try to go up there, they've been closed. I just don't have time. I would love to go back, but I just don't have time. Fan of Ben online. How'd you find my YouTube channel? Through Ben? That's how did you make that connection? That's whoa. Internet's a small place, I guess. So the thing about early Baroque, I've actually performed quite a bit of early Baroque, especially in choral settings and chamber groups. Early Baroque, a lot of it, you have to be able to limit your vibrato. And modern science shows that people that deliberately stop their vibrato, it's usually pretty bad for you. Now, when it comes to like Palestrina, like the Renaissance stuff, um, that it's same kind of thing. And the reason is that in the types of in the concert halls that type of stuff was performed in, like usually like stone dome churches and things, the vibrato caused intonation problems, so you had to straighten the tone out. And when you sing early Baroque music, I've done quite a bit of this stuff. I probably have some old recordings from college I could dig up if anybody wanted to hear it. And it's you can't let the vibrato get in the way of the intonation. And so yeah, it's you do have to sort of specialize in it. But they found people have found that certain voice types are very what's the word? Certain voice types are more conducive to having the straight tone thing. How did you know that I was connected with Ben, Archangel? Like Ben, by the way, Ben is Ben Feingold, a grandmaster chess player. I play chess, and the CCSCATL they mentioned is the Scholastic Chess Center of Atlanta, and Ben Feingold owns that. And I used to go there all the time. Like let's see if I still have my. Where's it at? I don't know where it is. I have a chess club card somewhere. Oh, it's not it either. Here it is. Well, that's kind of blurry. But yeah, so that's where I would go to play chess. Do you think range has something to do with Fach? Yes. Oh, the Blackburn. I was there for that Blackburn lecture. Like if you ever go like in any of his lectures, if you hear him talk about like the fake musician, like the guy who acts like he's a musician, that's me. Like he always he picks on me because I teach music. So he's always he does stuff like he's like, yeah, this guy's a musician. His main instrument is his mouth. Like he goes around telling like that's me. So if you ever hear that in his lectures, that's me. Yeah, that's cool that you found me through that though. That's really cool. Yeah. Ben knows me. He's a cool dude. His personality is exactly the same in person as it is in his videos. He acts it's exactly the same. Question about Fach and range. Yes, timbre is more important. I mean, you can't I'm a bass baritone. I could not sing a piece that requires the Fach of a lyric tenor. You know what I mean? So range is a factor, but once you're into that range, it has more to do with how you navigate the various tessituras. Have I done it? Hey, Rainey, my girlfriend, so she called me a nerd. How dare you? Done a video about Fach? No, and I won't. We're not now. The reason I'm not going to make a video about Fach is because it doesn't matter if you're not in classical music. Your Fach is irrelevant if you're not in classical music. It has nothing to do with anything. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Fach was designed for classical composers, for composers who are writing pieces like an opera or whatever, to know what ranges certain voice types operate in most comfortably. It's basically for composers who don't know anything about singing. So they can know what certain types of sounds they're trying to create in a certain role. It has nothing to do with contemporary singing. Don't worry about it. Yes, how dare you call me a nerd, Rainey? We pick on each other all the time. Random question. I know Night Wish is off limits, but what after? I've never listened to After Forever, but I've heard a lot about it lately. Ugh, I don't know if I want to go I don't want to jump back into that stuff. Favorite Wagner piece? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like saying the ring cycle is a cop out, like Die Valkyrie or something. But I honestly I like Tannhäuser a lot. I mean the Evening Star aria is my favorite one to sing because it's probably my favorite piece of his. So I mean that's probably probably the Evening Star aria. If I had to pick one piece, that's probably it. But I mean his music's amazing. Brahms is my favorite composer, though. When if we want to get down to you know my favorite composer is Brahms. Yeah, yeah. That I haven't taken a shot at any Wagnerian singing outside of the Evening Star aria. I'm terrified of it. On Schubert, oh Schubert, oh man, I've done so many Schubert leader that I can't even remember them all. I mean, my favorite, I'm gonna go like this is super mainstream. My favorite Schubert is definitely Stenchen. That's my favorite of his leader. Der König. I feel like I don't know if I've done that. I know I've heard it, but I don't think I've sung it because it rings a bell, but I can't think back on I can't think back on what it is. Let me pull it up real quick and give it a quick listen because I'm sure that I'm sure that I'm familiar with that. I'm listening to it real quick. Yeah, Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau is one of my favorites of all time. Oh yeah. Of course, I've heard this. I've never performed it, but I've heard it. Yeah, I've certainly heard this piece many times. I've I'm going to bed. My brain is now turned to mush. Good night. Well, thanks for swinging by. Yeah, please do. Feel free to leave me a comment, whatever. My email address, send me an email, zansley1@gmail.com. If you hear anything, please do. Or hit me up on Instagram, whatever. Whatever you want, anything like that. If you want to sing opera, how do you feel? You can only play the bad guys, baritone. Yeah. I know, baritone villain thing. I know. I've already accepted it. I have to be the big bad guy. I know. Yeah, it just comes to the territory. I mean, that's just the villain baritone sound, It's just, it's what I have to do. So I've come to accept that, but it's okay. I mean, some of those roles are really cool. Like Iago, it's an awesome role. Now, there are some like baritone roles that aren't so evil, like Die Zauberflöte, Zauberflöte, stuff like that. Yeah, I think it'll be fun too. I would love to chat with them and see what their perspectives are. I'd love to. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know how it goes. What language do I find it hardest to sing in? For me, French, Swedish. I did one piece in Swedish, never again. Swedish is difficult, but in terms of like the classical languages, English, French, German, Spanish, Italian, Latin, that kind of thing, French for me for sure. My voice, my vowels just don't naturally gravitate toward that like really frontal bright thing very well. Italian is different. I don't have a problem with Italian as much. I can kind of open up on those vowels a little bit more. With French, I tend to get too stuck. Like I can't find good placement for my French. I did a Prez on Red by Fauré once. And I have the recording. I've listened to it a few times. I'm not satisfied at all. I mean, it's been like what 6 years, 7 years since I tried it, but I was not satisfied with the way that came across. And it's very hard. Hear that? Yeah, I mean, Sopranos get a lot more role diversity than baritones do. Baritones in opera are always the bad guy because we had the big commanding voice, you know. So that's what we do. Actually, Rigoletto, I have not seen Rigoletto. I know that's sacrilege, but I haven't seen it. I do not watch that much opera anymore. I watched a lot of it in college. The last opera I watched was La Traviata. What should I be listening for when I'm trying to find live clips that aren't pitch? Good luck. Good luck. It's hard. General rule. Try to if you know what artifacting sounds like, listen for that. I think in live stuff it's a lot more obvious. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've always had a big voice. It's just I can't help it. I mean, it's just there, you know. My voice was built for the stage. It just I don't I mean everybody's voice is built for different things, and I don't know. My voice is just built to be on the stage. But yeah, pitch it's hard, man. Pitch corrected stuff live. They're really good at hiding it. Listen for artifacts. Listen for like note changes that don't sound real. Look for like one thing that I found is that a lot of times the video will cut away from the singer. And when you hear a lot of like something that is edited, there's a big thing. Like anytime they cut away from the singer's face, listen for edits because that's usually one of the most common times I find it because it's not as easy to be seen. You know, for someone like me who analyzes that kind of stuff, like if I see a cut, like I can hear, like if I saw what the singer was actually doing, I would know they edited it. So look out for that. A lot of cuts away from the singer's face. If they stay on the singer's face more often, it's probably less likely to be pitch corrected. Brahms, oh gosh. He's philosophical. His music's passionate. It's energetic. He was ahead of his curve. He was ahead of his time. It had this patience, but it had this energy as a whole. It was technical, but it wasn't superfluous. I mean, the Brahms German Requiem is my favorite piece of music ever composed. Movement 6 is my favorite thing, like musically. Like the sixth movement of the Brahms German Requiem is my favorite thing I've ever heard. I don't know. Something about Brahms' music just connects with me very, very deeply. Maybe the fact that he was kind of the underdog, maybe I relate to that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the I don't know. If you ever read any anecdotes about how he talked to people and what it was like when he composed, he was just a very interesting character. He's just a brilliant man. I just loved his music. That's if you've never listened to the German Requiem, give it a shot. Zlatopolsky. I'll check it out. I've never heard the name, but I'll check it out. Zlatopolsky. Full voice C1s? I mean, I don't doubt that I don't think you're telling a lie about it, but that's let me pull this up here. I need to verify this. Here's a C1, sure enough. Good Lord. Wow. That's crazy. I'm listening to one where it is a C sharp one right now. Whoa. Hey, there's your reaction video for you. Wait, what is this? What is this? At 33 minutes, 34 seconds. That's crazy too. Good grief. Yeah, I can't even begin to get down that far. I can sing that note. I don't know. I don't know what pitch that. I don't have perfect pitch, but what pitch is that? Yeah, I don't know. I can't see. I don't know what pitch it is. Anybody got a anybody got a pitch pipe? Anybody know what that note is? Let me see if I have a guitar tuner app. Let me sing it into that and see if it tells me what note that is. So I sung that and on. Let's see. This thing doesn't like my vibrato. It's going like the pitch keeps changing. Yeah, it's an E flat. Yep. So that's an E flat. Yeah, that's like yeah, that E flat. I guess that's an E flat 2. Is that what that is? That's an E flat 2, I suppose. That's probably about as low as I can go and make it, have any kind of sound on it. I might be able to sneak down to a D, but I certainly can't do what that guy just did. That was crazy. That was crazy. Interesting stuff. Well, it's been an hour and a half. Do you guys have any questions you want to ask me before I take off? I plan on spending about an hour and a half. Oh. Hi, Zach. Sorry, I'm perfect. I missed a lot, but when you have a minute, I wanted to ask if you've dealt with severe stage fright, either personally or a student. Students, stage fright for sure. Me, the really big roles, I get nervous beforehand, but it wasn't stage fright. It was just like performance anxiety, just nerves from performing. Honestly, there are 2 ways that I think that people can deal with stage fright the best. One, just perform more often for audiences, even if it's a small audience. 2, mess up. Because now some people think that making a mistake on stage that have stage fright, that the worst has happened. But the reality is that when you make a mistake, you realize that the audience is not there to jump on you for making mistakes. The audience is there to encourage you when you do it right. So if you're a new performer and you're trying to get on stage and you're trying to perform in front of a safe audience, people people you trust, where you can make mistakes and mess up. And you'll find that it wasn't as bad as you thought it was. And the stage fright will eventually go away. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Let's see. I have one student in particular that gets really, really nervous when she goes on stage, but we've just made her sing more, made her sing in front of people more, and it's getting better and better. But the biggest thing is allow yourself to fail. being on stage is a very vulnerable experience. Like you're putting yourself out there in front of who knows how many people, and you're exposed. All the spotlights are on you immediately. People, all the microscopes and all the magnifying glasses are on you. So you're putting yourself in a situation to where a mistake is going to be noticed. So put yourself in that situation more often and allow yourself to fail. Those are the biggest. Those are the two biggest things I could offer in that regard, and it'll get easier as you go. Cool, no problem. Anything else? Anybody else got any questions or any commentary? If someone can't get a vocal coach, what's the best method to learn to sing? They don't get death threats karaoke. Well, it's a really good question. It depends. So learning to sing, like I have to know a few things up front. Can they already match pitch? Like, or do they have pitch acuity? Like if I played a C and said sing that note, can they sing that note? Or do they not have the ear? Because those are two very different things. You can't match pitch. If you cannot match pitch, the best thing that you can do is do ear training. If you can't match pitch, I would not even try to sing. Focus on developing your ear. Because so much of singing is about utilizing your inner ear. Not like the inner ear is in like the part of the body, the inner ear, but like the inner ear, like your understanding of where pitches are. If you have a piano, learn to like sing along with what you're doing on piano. Just try to and see if your voice is matching the notes on the piano as you play. If you can't match pitch, it's very hard. And it depends on, there's a lot of factors. Like it's such a multifaceted question that it's hard to put in one statement. But if you can't match pitch and you can't move your voice around at all, you might be tone deaf. But that's very rare, extremely rare. So it's probably not that. If you can't match pitch, but you can move your voice up and down, it's an ear thing. So I would suggest in like looking for like an online ear training course. That's what I would do. I would not do an online voice coaching course. I would find some kind of online ear training course. If you can move your voice around, but you just can't match pitch. And that's my number one advice to you. If you can't get a voice coach. The students that I have that can't match pitch are sometimes very difficult to work with, mostly because it's not because they're bad students, they don't want to work, but sometimes it's really hard to get them to understand the concepts. And so that's why it all comes to ear training. Like don't take voice lessons until you have established your ear some. That's for sure. Hi, Zach. Thanks for creating deep analysis videos. Really showing you like these React videos. Awesome. That's good to know. Yes. Can you do a video showing really poor performances, highlighting bad, unhealthy techniques? Love metal. After Barlow interview, I thought maybe showing healthy metal screams and healthy operatic comparison. You know, I do that sometimes, and like you should go check out my Floor from Nightwish video, and you'll see what happens. Like I've made videos with more negative than positive in them, and it I get a lot of hate for that. I would love to make a video just talking about a bad performance. I'd love to, but I get eaten alive for it. So, I would love to. Maybe when I feel like I'm in a better spot and doing the wrong video about the wrong singer wouldn't, cause me to get kicked to the curb. It's tough. But maybe if I picked an operatic singer with a bad performance, but then I'd have to be talking about operatic concepts a lot of people don't know. I don't know. I would like to do it though. Yeah, I know you guys like my input, even though it gets rabid, and I understand that. I have to think about my own sanity too, and I know that sounds selfish, but I thought that I had thicker skin than I actually do. And after like so much negativity, it's gotten to me a lot more than I think I was willing to admit. And I know that on the outside it's probably really easy to overlook. Like when I see other videos that get like downvoted by people, but they're really good videos anyway, I think to myself, like, man, they should just ignore all that hate. But it's really hard to put that back on yourself, because a lot of the negativity hits close to home. Like sometimes they actually, have negative comments that have some validity. How long do you need to sing to unlock your full baritone range? Um, I've been studying bel canto for 3 years as a tenor, and I struggle with the high notes. So I don't know how old you are, but to give you some perspective, I'm 32. I took my voice lesson when I was 16, and I still don't have control of my passaggio around like F sharp like I'd like. Like E, F sharp. That's like F sharp 4, F sharp 4. I still don't have control up there. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just do your best, accept your voice for where it is, and keep working. Don't try to say, oh, well, I can't do my highest notes yet. You'll get there. You got to wait for your larynx to stabilize. Your body's still developing. It's a coordination. It takes time. It takes time. So, just be patient with yourself. 3 years is not enough time to be a full-fledged singer that can do everything that your voice is capable of. It took Pavarotti, watch his interviews. It took him 20 years before he started feeling like he was singing with like a relaxed technique. 20 years. He's one of the greatest singers of all time. So, be patient. It's a process. Enjoy the process and don't try to set hard goals for yourself or you're going to hold yourself to impossible standards. I had to stop holding myself to such impossible standards a long time ago. I love your channel. You gained my respect a long time ago. Thank you so much for all the entertainment, education. Hey, you know what? I do it for you guys. That you're the reason that I do this. You're the reason that I keep going despite all the negativity. So I'm happy that you guys enjoy it. And I will keep making content with all of you in mind. Loved your analysis. Helped me see where there's room for improvement. I'm glad. That was my whole goal. Like I had no intentions of making Flora look like a bad singer because she's not. Like I feel like me saying Flora is a good singer. The end. Da-da. Like I feel like that's just the dumbest thing I could have done. Like I wanted to give some substance. She's obviously a good singer. Like I don't need to say Flora's a good singer to at an analysis. She's a good singer. Like she's a professional singer. She's probably at least okay. Fight, flight, confrontational interactions feel more intense and pleasant. Dopamine interactions. The negative situations tend to stick. They do. They do. It's why I can get 1,000 positive comments about stuff and then see that one negative one that hits home where I'm just like, gosh. And if you guys have any tips for dealing with that better, please let me know. I'm completely open to anything that you guys can suggest to help me, deal with some of that stuff better. So I am about to take off. And you think, another question. Cool. What do you think about people that have damaged voices, but surgery therapy is not a viable option? They should not stop singing. Well, if you know that your voice is damaged, that would mean that you went to some kind of doctor or therapist to get that assessment. You would think that those people would at least tell you some things not to do, like some do's and don'ts. I don't know. If you're doing something that you know is destructive, I would strongly recommend you not do it. I mean, I know that sounds like a stupid response, but if you're doing something you know is destructive, don't. That's the best thing I can say. I know it's tough, but that's the best answer I can give. But if you can get a therapist or something, that's the best thing you can do. Let's see. To add what I said too, you definitely taught me so much about the voice of your videos and helped me when it comes to temp. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad that I was able to help. I hope I hope that my content was able to help, and I'm when I make it. So I'm glad that you're a case of it helping. Yep, Ronnie James Dio. I'm going to tackle Ronnie James Dio again in the future for sure. I actually really enjoyed analyzing him because he was so unique. He was such a like he was such a freak. So it was awesome. I'll definitely get back to him. Understand your position, your channel status, though. Just saw some operatic performances, how they project their voice without belting. That's all about openness. Projecting without belting. It doesn't matter where you're at in your range. Like the projection comes from openness. So anyone that wants to project without belting, it all comes from being able to be more open. Hey, Rachel, what's up? Oh, I haven't heard from you forever. Can I just say I've only been on here for a short time, realize how little I know about music, but it's so nice to see people who are passionate about the subject. Rachel is a long-time friend of mine. Long-time friend of mine. Thank you for coming by. And yeah, it is nice to see people who are passionate about it. It's awesome to have a following of people that really care about the subject. It's awesome. It's really cool. Yeah, it's all about openness. You know, if you want to project without microphones, or you want to project without belting, be more open, think more vertical, raise the soft palate, create space, set up a yawn. Oh, you know, anything like that. It doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter the vowel, doesn't matter the note, doesn't matter any of that stuff. It's all about openness. So that, you know, if you ever have a question about how to sing with more projection, be more open internally, not externally, open inside here. That's the key. All right, so I'm going to take off, you guys. Thanks for everything. Thank you for all the support, and I'm probably making an Anarchy video on Tuesday. Follow me on Instagram at Zach Ansley Vocals. I'll put it here again. I'm going to type with one hand. It's hard. Yep. So yeah, follow me on Instagram. If you have any questions, hit me up. You guys take care. Thank you so much. See you all later.